I'm Carmen Callahoo, and I manage the office as controller. Mur-Cal was founded in 2004 by Murray Callahoo, owner and president of the company, and started out very small with one line of equipment and a skeleton crew under 10 employees, and just kept growing from there.
We started as a small clearing company, and just one other employee. Both was actually bought a buncher together first, right? And then, and like I say, we got that big project in 2008, and we kind of just kept growing from there every year, just buying more and more, and away we went. We dealt with a lot of communities along the way, and actually from the 2008 project, we kept a lot of those people, that we worked in different communities. So we employed a lot of Indigenous people, and we still do.
Mur-Cal had gone through a very large growth phase in a short amount of time. They'd started off as a mom and pop shop, and they were growing into the company you know today. And so they needed a lot of help to get them to a place where they had all the processes where everything would run smoothly so they could continue to grow, continue to do large scale jobs, continue to buy more equipment and get to the size you are today.
When Murray started in the construction side, he was in the pipeline clearing business at that time and the logging business. And then when he started on the oil field side, Ken Wilson Contracting was going out of business, and same as what Murray's doing here, there was going to be a large hole in that dirt work side, and Murray and Ken were good buddies and still are to this day, are good friends. So at that point, Murray thought, well, if I diversify a little bit, if the logging side's slow, then maybe the construction side will pick up a little bit. So
he actually gave me all those employees. He made it easy for me. So that's when we made our mind up to get into construction.
Murray and I have been talking about him retiring for probably the last 3 years. So it's been an ongoing conversation. Like I said, I was a sales manager, a TM, back then, and Murray was my customer, so I have long history with Murray. So we've become very close over the years. So yeah, this conversation has been going on for 3 years. When was the right time to retire?
I know a lot of things that happen in the background just due to my position, and Murray's toyed with the idea. I don't think he's been quite ready yet, and he was finally to the point where he was ready to move on to bigger and better things.
It's just I've done so much business with Ritchie Brothers over the years, and it was a hard decision to make. I put it out there, and it just timing was just kind of right.
We talked about it a lot in the past, but like Murray said, you have to do it at the right time. That's right for both of us. And, we put a lot of hard work, grit, and determination along the way in it. And, it was time because we've been in business for 20 plus years. And, we put in all the time we need, I think. And, we've just made a decision to step back and make that decision to retire and start our new chapter of life and carry on from there, one day at a time.
Decision was I met with Terry and told him what I wanted, and I said, is it possible to get this together? And then we got Nick involved, and then I think the whole crew is involved. I believe Kevin was involved, and everybody, and they put a proposal together, and and I liked it, and and I just I just feel that I think it's the right spot to put this company.
It all starts with an equipment list, of course. Unit numbers and serial numbers. We did an appraisal. We priced out the equipment, and then of course we came up with a number that worked. Historically, The April event in Grand Prairie has been one of our larger sales, and we figured it was the best spot for this equipment.
Ritchie Bros has actually been fantastic, and not just from my perspective, I think from all of it, I think it's great that, you know, we regularly meet with both Nick and Terry to find out what pieces are we delivering to Ritchie Bros that week, what do they need to show that that equipment has been well maintained, and what pieces are worth the investment. Where should we focus our time and efforts to ensure that Murray's going to get the best dollar for that piece of equipment? And that, I think, is so invaluable for him, right? We don't know necessarily in today's market right now what the best piece is going to be. They have so much more insight on that.
There's a lot of day-to-day activity. We have weekly meetings. Communication's key. Every day there's a new delivery. You could have your hiccups in this journey as well. They've been pretty low at the moment. From looking at it in the yard, getting it into the paint booth, and just getting it against our fence, of course. So,
Well, that was the good part about this. It is a large package of equipment and a diverse package that Murray's selling. But we did start early enough, and that was part of the discussion right from the start, that if you want to do this in April, this is going to be 3-4 months to get all your equipment gone through your shop, because of course they wanted their stuff in working order and working condition, so it all had to go through the shop and be CVIP'd on the trucks, and they wanted to go through all the big pieces and make sure there was nothing wrong with them. So we talked timeline right from the start and how long it was going to take to get this done. And literally we did need that 3 to 4 months to do this. So, and then we just worked backwards from a time frame. We would need stuff in the yard 2 weeks prior to the sale. So we've been having weekly meetings with their team and our team, the operations team on our side as well. And just where we're at today, we got so many days left. Here's what we need to get done. And just so it's a gradual progression and everybody knows where everybody's at. So the communication has been very well between both parties. So everybody knows what's happening on everybody's end. So
originally we were looking at our March event, which seemed like it was a little too soon. So we landed on the April event, which landed perfectly with all the other equipment we're going to be receiving for that said event.
The amount of time that is spent for the whole thing, not just, it's not a list of equipment slapped up on a website, it's the whole thing. There's already a video up about a complete dispersal of Mur-Cal and how that's a big undertaking. It's 130 pieces of equipment. It's not small by any means, and it's great to see as pieces are added the amount of time that Ritchie Bros puts in to market that, not only just each individual piece, but the whole lot. It's a live auction. That's not something they do anymore. They're doing so many extra things that for Murray will end up really great.
The weekend before the sale, preview weekend, we're expecting lots of activity in our yard. Our doors are wide open to come look at this equipment. We're going to be on site. Mur-Cal will be on site the weekend before the sale, and we're excited to talk to people and shake hands and steer them in the right direction for what they're looking for.
In this market today, the price of equipment is outrageous. So yes, to go to an auction, I think would be a great choice, a wise choice. You can get great equipment, well maintained, for much cheaper.
I would say to any buyers looking at this equipment, you're looking at some of the most impeccable equipment we've ever seen at our auctions, with the most extensive maintenance programs. This equipment was well kept, certainly from a very good, reputable home, and I would not hold back on anything pertaining to this package.
we've had calls from the Yukon, from Alaska, wanting to buy some of the mulchers, some of the feller bunchers, down into, I think it was Washington, a guy was looking at the feller bunchers online, wanted to buy them. All the guys from around this area as well, the local guys that know the equipment, know the reputation of this equipment and the reputation of this company.
conducting the complete retirement for Mur-Cal services, I think it's a no-brainer. If you're even considering selling one piece, 2 pieces, 20 pieces, this is the event to be a part of.
Well, I mean, I didn't think we'd ever get it to this size, but it wasn't without losing sleep, that's for sure. So, I mean, it was just now the timing was right to look at retiring, and here we are.